Hey everybody, welcome in. I'm really excited to be joined by Rebecca Tucker, who's come all the way over from England to the JTV experience. Welcome, Rebecca.
Hi, Jana.
Is this your first time?
Well, I haven't been for a couple of years, but I have been to about 3 conferences before this.
Excellent.
Yeah, okay, so I've had a couple of years out, but I am raring to go.
Yay.
I'm so pleased to be back.
Well, I got to see your talk yesterday and it was incredible.
Thank you.
So you're most welcome. I wanted to share with our friends back home a little bit about what you're talking about, because I think, we talked about this a little bit yesterday. Right now there's this really big, we want to know more about royalty and what they're wearing and style and all of this kind of stuff, and you're kind of tying that back with a gemstone from back home for you.
Yeah, I mean, this is such a rare British gemstone. It's organic, it's different, it's made from fossilised wood. It's got an amazing history to go with it as well. But there is so much interest in products that come from different parts of the world now, and especially somewhere as small as a small seaside town in the northeast coast of England.
So what Rebecca is here kind of giving us a little bit of a background and education on is a gemstone called Whitby Jet, which a lot of you may have never heard of or seen unless you've been over to England, really.
Exactly.
Because of its scarcity.
It's really scarce now. I mean, during the Victorian era, Whitby Jet was actually extremely popular, and they mined it profusely. And the Victorians wore these great big parures of jewellery, great big pieces, and they had the material there to be able to make these pieces with. Now we are literally restricted to pieces that are beachcombed. They come off the cliffs naturally, they get washed up in the waves, and people, literally local people, go out walking the dogs in the morning and pick up this shiny black gemstone, and they bring it into us in the shop, and I'll look at it and I'll assess it for quality, weigh it and buy it.
And I love that because you're actually a jeweler yourself.
I am, yeah.
I am so taken back by that. So if you can tell us a little bit about the process of like what you would see in a particular gem, how you would figure out to work it into a piece of jewelry, because I don't think that everybody fully understands, unless you've been into a jeweler's workshop, how hard that is.
It can be. I mean, for example, Jana, let me just give you this piece to hold here. It's not big, but how light does that feel? And when you look at jet, it's really sort of dark and heavy looking, but it's so light in weight. So when we're looking for gemstones, what we're looking for is a lightness, a warmth to the touch that you can only get from jet. Most gemstones are quite cold to touch, they're quite heavy.
It's true.
It's so tactile. And in terms of actually making it into a piece of jewellery, we can either carve it into an image or a form, or we can make lovely smooth shiny cabochons. The shine on Whitby Jet is world famous.
Yes.
So that is by far the most popular. But as a jeweler, what I like to do is actually make the most of this rough gemstone as it's come out of the sea. What I'm wearing now is actually really cool. A rough piece of jet. It's been lightly polished, but essentially that is how it has come out of the sea.
So, okay, this is really cool. So tell us a little bit about what is Whitby Jet and how does it form? Okay, so that we can kind of fully understand that.
Whitby Jet is an organic gemstone. It comes from the fossilised remains of a specific species of tree called Araucaria. Now that tree existed in vast rainforests during the Jurassic period. When the tree died, it would fall, sink to the bottom of the sea, become covered in sediment, and lack of oxygen, sheer pressure, coupled with 180 million years, fossilised it into
just a little bit of time.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Now, your particular company, which is CW Sellers, you guys actually own, is it the largest piece? Or is it up? It's insane.
Yeah.
I've seen it.
Yeah.
It's nuts.
It's 21 foot long.
That's
it
so
is
cool.
an entire Araucaria tree trunk. And just to put in perspective, this is considered a large piece of jet.
Yes.
Most pieces are going to be about that size.
But you guys recently put that piece on display over in England.
So the past 3.5 years, we've actually spent creating a museum of Whitby Jet. And we bought this old Wesleyan chapel in the heart of Whitby's old town, and we've been restoring it for 3.5 years.
Cool.
But like the reason we bought this place was simply because it was big enough to hold this ginormous piece of jet.
Which is really cool because throughout it there's all these fossils and just really unique, like ammonites are in there. It's so cool.
Yeah, where the trees originally fallen, it's crushed all these little things underneath it. So we've got ammonites, shells, belemnites, there's even a fish in there.
It's so cool.
It's incredible.
But that's how, like, I mean, when you think of organic gems, they're few and far between, and it often is that gem that you can't just go out and mine. And for you guys, it would be hanging off the side of a cliff, really, essentially, from what I understand.
Yeah, I mean, literally, it's got to fall down of its own accord.
Yeah.
Coastal erosion is a big concern, so we try and tend to encourage people not to try and take it out of the cliffs now. But it's got to come away from the cliffs naturally and be beach coned. As a jeweller, I actually prefer that.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is if it comes out of the cliffs, it's got a layer of shale on it, which is what we call spar. Now, you don't know the quality of the jet that's going to be underneath that spar. When it's sea washed like this, it's actually tumbled in the waves, sometimes hundreds of years. And it takes off any impurities off the surface, and you're literally left with the best material with which to work with.
Which is perfect.
Perfect.
So it's really great for both of you. You know, it's great for Mother Nature, great for you as a jeweler.
Yeah, and great for the customer at the end of the day.
Now, as far back as jet goes and everything, you were talking about, and one of the things that really caught my attention in your talk was how it was used, from trinkets to pieces of jewelry that were worn when women were mourning, all kinds of things. So can you fill us in a little bit about the history of where you saw jet throughout the history of England?
Yeah. I mean, I love history.
Yeah,
I
do too.
I love history. And English history is just so fascinating. Queen Victoria herself was a great patron of anything British. You know, any homegrown industry she loved. And so Whitby Jet, she loved it. You know, it's a British gemstone manufactured right there on the coast of England. So she used to wear lovely sets of Whitby Jet jewellery, and really that's part of its heritage today. And having that association with royalty, it took off in a way you could not possibly imagine during the 19th century.
Of course.
I mean, there was no celebrities.
They were. They are.
No pop stars, no movie stars.
Yeah.
People wanted to emulate the royal family.
Of course.
So she really took the Whitby Jet industry to the next level. And we have to thank her for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's incredible. So do you have a favorite piece that you've ever created?
It would probably have to be the one I'm wearing.
Yeah.
I do like this.
Yeah, I love that. The fact that it's freeform and it's so beautiful.
Yeah. But in terms of making a special commission for someone, there's so many pieces. But for me, I guess the more unusual, the better. If I get to carve something into a really unusual form, and especially if it's, you know, sentimental to someone, I mean, those are the best commissions, aren't they? And those are the ones that don't come along every day.
Yeah,
so
those
I really
are
do enjoy them.
Kind of life's scrapbook right there. You know, those one-of-a-kind pieces.
Yeah.
Those are the pieces that we all know and love and, you know, we really cherish. So thank you for taking the time to sit down with me. Yeah. Now, they can follow you on Instagram.
Of course.
At
absolutely.
The Jet Setter.
The Jet
right?
Setter,
yeah,
and also W. Hammond.
Oh, perfect. Okay, so you can actually see what Rebecca's doing over there, and if you want to learn more about the gemstone, you know, she is an absolute wealth of knowledge and can kind of share her experiences with you. So make sure you head over there and do that. But thank you for being here.
Thank you.
And thank you for sharing your story, and thank all of you for tuning in, and we'll see you again soon.
See you soon.